Welcome everyone to this month's Heart Bunch video brought to you by Utah State University Extension Heart Initiative. We're thrilled to talk with you about how to experience awe and what it can do for you. So Tim is going to start us off.
Okay, awe is a complex, mysterious, and deeply felt emotion that can be difficult to define, but can be significantly impactful for our well-being. In its simplest form, awe is a feeling of wonder or amazement. Awe can be described as experiencing something vast or extraordinary that causes us to think outside ourselves, discover a sense of meaning or connectedness, and explore curiosity. And Gabby's going to talk to us about the benefits of health with awe.
Yes. Well, although research around the emotion of awe is relatively new, experiencing awe is associated with things like decreased stress, increased mindfulness, decreased anxiety and depression, increased social connectedness, and improved resilience. So there is some data to suggest those things, those effects and impacts are connected to awe. So we wanted to share, as a Heart Bunch, we wanted to share a few ways that we experience awe and how that has been helpful for us personally. So to start us off, I'm going to turn it over to Aaron to share his experience.
Great, thanks. So I want to share an experience when you're outside at night. So at USU Extension, we have a project called the Dark Skies Project. And this is getting out and looking at the stars. And when you do this, you can experience awe. And when I do this myself, just looking up at the stars, it makes you feel like you're connected to everything in the universe, shows how small you really are in comparison to everything. The universe is infinite, huge, and it's really good for our health. So we do have a study that you can participate in, and eventually we'll have continuing programming. But I really feel awe when I'm out looking up at the stars. So I'm going to turn it back over to Gabby to give her an example.
Yeah, I guess just to go along with Aaron, I mean, nature in general just gives me a sense of awe. I kind of get goosebumps at times when I see certain things. So, for example, one of the things I love to see are jellyfish. I just love watching them swim, and there's always a sense of like I always have a sense of awe when I see how they kind of swim and bob around and all the different types of jellyfish that are out there. But even just kind of looking at maybe the most recent experience I've had, there was an article that I read about like a glacier, a part of a glacier in the Antarctic or the Arctic had broken off, and all of these deep sea creatures were discovered, these new creatures, and just watching the videos and looking at how they swim and how they're mobile and that they even live in that environment just really is just inspiring and just really a cool experience to see that something like this exists and that we have, no idea. So that's kind of my experience. So, Tim, what about you? What's one of your experiences?
Yeah, thanks, Gabby. I talk about when I think of kind of social relationships and interactions. And for me, the opportunity to volunteer with a number of different types of people has been really, um, it provides me with that feeling of awe. I volunteer with people that are homeless and unsheltered. I volunteer with people that are working through some issues with drugs and alcohol. And I'm always surprised at what they were able to do. So we talk about having that feeling of reverence and wonder. I have that consistently when I work with people that are going through some difficult things, but want to better themselves. And watching those that help them as volunteers really gives me that sense of awe, and it makes me know that I'm part of something bigger and better as we do that together. And how about you, Matt? I'll let you give some of your ideas
Yeah,
that you
thanks,
have.
Tim. I think when I think about awe, I think that there's the big moments that we have. For me, the birth of my daughters or taking a trip to Alaska and those really big moments. But more often than not, I try to find awe in just the daily life. Even my screensavers, they're just these really big, sort of vast pictures of nature, big, big landscapes that really kind of inspire me. Or on my drive to work, I go right up at the top of this exit, and it's a good vantage point of the mountains, and particularly when there's clouds on the mountains, it just looks very interesting to me and inspires me with awe. So something that I like about awe is you have it in those big moments, but you can also find it in the small things as well. Ashley?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I think for me, the thing that inspires awe the most, and I feel that sense of, wow, this is amazing, is when I listen to live music at concerts or even just people playing live in front of me and practicing music for the first time or learning how to do something new. It's really amazing for me to watch the talent that people have and to share that talent with others. So I love concerts and that kind of stuff. But as Matt said, right, it can be small moments, but it can also be big moments. Thankfully, we can find awe almost anywhere and we can experience those benefits. It can be those once in a lifetime things, but awe can be experienced anytime, in person, virtually, doing selfless acts, being out in nature, looking at photos or painting, or reading a really good book and reflecting on past experiences, or just practicing mindfulness can also inspire a sense of awe. We want to invite you to actively look in your life for opportunities to have moments of awe and notice how that practice helps you. And if you notice anything when you're experiencing awe, we hope that you follow us on our next slide here with our social media examples and learn more from us and watch out for those opportunities to join our dark sky studies and engage in mindfulness. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe.